European round of actions that went down in Europe Tuesday, Wednesday, as well as Thursday night. Of course, UCL and UEFA Europa League, beg your pardon. My name is Amala Bakaraja. You know how we do it. We're talking all things related to football, but here with a focus on Europe, okay, European club action and all of that stuff. I'm not doing this show alone. Of course, I've got with me Ibrahim Ayabiojo, aka Izbaba, on the show with me today. He's the number one for me, bro.
Yeah.
Let's move on. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm happy. I'm happy because at least I witnessed a little bit of joy from my team.
That's very interesting. So they're making you sad in recent times. I'll pretend not to know.
Yes. Even when you go to it, I was not in it.
I'm not aware of any sort.
Move.
Okay, let's start with the starting with group A action. Very interesting one happening there. I don't think we all saw that particular. Over now to Italy, they still did the same thing, albeit that they considered 2 goals, right? But it was still 4-2, Napoli 4, Ajax 2 it was, and it was a convincing and comprehensive result for Napoli.
As I said, they beat them convincingly. So this is 4 wins out of 4 games.
Like, you know,
perfect record in the Champions League. I'm pretty sure this is the first time ever in Napoli's history they are achieving this feat, because you are in a group with former semi-finalist Ajax, former winner Ajax, like Liverpool winners. So we are going to say Rangers is the minor of the team, right? If you were to finish anywhere, probably say second, you and Ajax should be fighting and vying for the second and third position. But no, you have blitzed past everybody else. You top of the group, and you are not just playing like, you're not getting 1-0 wins or 2-1 wins. You are beating people comprehensively. They defeated Liverpool 4-1. At Rangers, it was a whitewash. Both legs. Look at what they did to Ajax now.
Same thing.
Over 2 legs, they scored 9 goals against Ajax.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, considering 3 anyway, but
9 goals a +6 is not easy.
Absolutely not. And the fact that looking at the young ones, I mean, looking at the against Liverpool they had Osimhen, it was out for the other games. Against Ajax, the first leg, against Rangers as well. So it's just, for me, it's very interesting that upon Osimhen's return, or perhaps on his absence, they were still scoring goals. No Osimhen, no problem. You have Kvaratskhelia, massive performance. You have Raspadori as well. Like, the boys up top, they've just been so impressive, to say the very least. And what are we seeing Napoli go past the quarterfinals, perhaps?
Past the quarterfinals is a stretch, because as we have said, we've known Napoli to be the nearly men, one of the nearly men teams in the UCL. I think their highest got to one time was semi-final against Chelsea. The season Chelsea won the Champions League. Are they going to get up to that? As with the way they are playing right now, I can't say no, because they look the team to beat at the moment. But on the long run, with their league included, Coppa Italia too there, are they going to continue in that state, not having any injury problems? Although they had injuries regarding their talisman, but they didn't even let it show.
It didn't show. It was almost like it wasn't out at all.
I'm not praying bad for them. I'm not wishing them bad, but there are a couple of players in that team that if they get injured, they might have problems. Like Zambo. If Zambo gets injured, it's a problem. Like Merit, their goalkeeper, if he gets injured, I'm not sure they have a good second choice goalkeeper to
with this kind of quality, yeah.
Yeah. So I quarterfinals to me is to be like their target. Even if they want to go past that, they should just put it in mind that let's get ourselves to the quarterfinal first, and let's see how it goes from there. Because with the way they are playing, if they don't get to the quarterfinal, they are underachieved for me. Because
based off of current form,
they are playing beautiful.
Okay, away from Napoli, Ajax again, what a showdown! 6 goals we had in that one year upon his return. Shout out to him. right there. And I mean, he had a sitter, I would say, that he missed, but hey, he redeemed himself by getting the much needed goal.
Yeah.
Was it needed actually? Okay, but
For himself.
yeah,
For
absolutely.
his
All right,
confidence.
it's
Although
cementing
he
it.
doesn't lack it at all. He doesn't lack
Not in the
confidence.
least, absolutely. But sticking with Group A, let's move over to the other participants in Group A, talking about Liverpool and Rangers. It was an 8-goal fiasco. Liverpool in 7th, Evans. 7 goals for Liverpool and 1 for Rangers at the Ibrox. What a game. What a result for the Reds. And what a moment for Mohamed Salah.
Yes.
6 minutes, 12 seconds. The fastest hat-trick in the history of the Premier League, beg your pardon, in the Champions League. And I don't know. There were a lot of things to talk about in that game. Let's start from the fact that Liverpool reverted to factory setting, I would say, the way they've started this season, conceding first.
Yeah, they conceded first. Albeit a few errors as usual. If you go check the way they have been conceding this season, it is always them losing the ball in the middle of the park or up top, and they get beat on the counter attacks. On the norms, Liverpool's defense have been rock solid. We have known them to be solid. The eye line is always ever present when they are defending, and they have been exposed most times either by the right flank or the left flank. But these days, if they want to get to them, it is through the middle.
It's so easy to get through.
To get through, and there was no keeper in this was stopping Scott Arfield's strike. Nobody was stopping that. So after that, I was like, well, let's see how they were going to respond. And what a response! 7.
What a response! And talking about the fact that Roberto Firmino getting a brace, he was it was very much involved in this game. Darwin Núñez as well getting a goal in that one. Mohamed Salah getting 3.
6 minutes 12 seconds. So like after Firmino's head at the first to make it 1-1, it felt like okay, let's see how it goes. Then second half, because first half ended 1-0.
Yeah.
Only God knows, and the people in the dressing room knew how. I'm pretty sure Klopp would have been so irate for those boys to come back and score 6. Or they could have the second half they could have scored at least like 10, but they tried to limit how much they scored because they still had City.
At some point I was like, you guys just remain a bit.
Yeah.
You need goals on Sunday, don't you? Except you're playing out of goalless draw. But talking about this one is very interesting for me. So looking as it stands now, Liverpool just need 1 point off of their next game, taking on Ajax next.
Yeah.
And then we'll be seeing what's going to happen.
That's it to the group stage.
Basically, and I don't think it's going to be a stretch to say that Liverpool will get at least a point in the next 2 games, even though it's against Ajax as well as against Napoli. But
I see them getting a point at the least.
I think minimum it should be expected. But
they should.
So for me, Group A, any surprises with the way it's been arranged so far? Napoli taking
center stage.
Yeah, and then Liverpool in 2nd place. And then you have Ajax in 3rd and Rangers as expected, I guess.
To an extent, I said I would be surprised. But I remember last time Liverpool were in the same group with Napoli that was being coached by Carlo Ancelotti.
18-19 season.
Yeah, it was so hard for Liverpool to maintain top spots because Napoli was just all up in their heels. But now seeing how this group has played out, Rangers, no surprises about their position and their wins and
no points.
No points. I'm not surprised about that. I expected that in the first place. Ajax is the surprise for me. At least get 2 wins. It be impressive enough. They have not. The only time they impressed was against Rangers, where they whooped.
It was a whitewash
at the Ibrox, where they give them 4-0. So I was like, okay, let's see how they are going to perform against Napoli. Then, pim, got destroyed. Liverpool were not in the top form. They still beat Ajax easily. So I feel.
Was it that easy though?
It was easy for them to beat Ajax.
Okay.
It was actually easy for them to beat Ajax. Did Ajax score a goal?
Yes, they did. Kudus.
Okay, that rocket.
It was 2-1. It was close, I would say.
It was 2-1, but I felt Kudus' attempt was the only meaningful attempt they had all the match. I did not remember.
Alisson made a couple of saves. Alisson actually kept Liverpool in that game because it could. It could have gone either way.
So, but still, I am unimpressed with Ajax in this group stage. That was just it. Liverpool, their form is not good, but hey, when it comes to the Champions League,
I think they've got to the point where it mattered, except their shambolic performance against Napoli. Away from Group A and the happenings in there, we have some surprises, I would say, on my end. For Group B, talking about Club Brugge, Atletico Madrid, Club Brugge, goalless draw they played, which took Club Brugge to 10 points in that group. So as it is, round of 16, qualified. And it's very, very interesting to know that these guys are yet to consider goal in 4 games. And you are paired in a group where you have Atletico Madrid, you have Porto in that same group, you have Leverkusen as well in that group. And shout out to Simon Mignolet. It seems like a man reborn. It seems like, and I see him for Club Brugge, and I'm like, okay, you still have it apparently.
Yeah, true. It's good for him. I'm actually happy for him as well, because as a former copite, I have to be happy for you. But they are giving us what Atletico Madrid used to give us: play and be defensively solid, and that's what they've been. In the first leg, they beat Atletico Madrid, and on the second leg, at one day, I was like, okay, I feel Atletico Madrid can just get a goal and lock up spoil their.
Seem to be on holiday except for Club Brugge. Porto, a bit of spark here and there, but Atletico Madrid, were the guys I thought seeing this draw should be the bosses of Group B. They are yet to do that.
At all, they have failed to impress massively. Like they have underachieved a whole. I'm not going to say underachieved, because they have been, I can't say shambolic at least, but they have not been
impressive
at all. So next thing, against Club Brugge, Soa got a red card like very early in the second half, and they still were not able
to take advantage of that woman.
Atletico Madrid, Diego Simone, aren't you saying money? You are. So come on, do something.
And for me, that's very interesting. But looking at this group here, are we expecting Atletico Madrid to, get something out of the next 2 games and get into the round of 16 as perhaps we've expected them to? Are we seeing them topple Porto? Because I don't right now it's looking like Club Brugge are not going to be shifted away from their top spot, but it's football. Yeah,
it's football. Football can happen, and the fact that Club Brugge host Porto at their own home the next game, they've had the home advantage. They've beaten everybody at their house, clean sheet at their house. Is it going to, are we seeing them do the same thing against Porto, who just blitz past Bayern Leverkusen home and away? Like those ones, I feel Porto just woke up and realized that we are in the Champions League. We lost our first game. Let's wake up. And back to back the
wins. I mean, but they've lost 2 anyway. So that close one against Atletico Madrid,
very close one. Back to that 98 minutes drama game. So back to back wins, and they find themselves second spot, looking like, you are facing Club Brugge, who is first. And they are just how many points above us?
4 points.
4 points above us. We can't get to them, but if we beat them, we are just 1 point short of them, and we have guaranteed ourselves a spot in the next phase. I feel they want to kill themselves. No football, no violence. I feel they want to get the whole points by all
means possible. Yeah,
possible, and that is the game I want to see, because I know Atletico Madrid is going to. I can't say beat Bayern Leverkusen because it's football,
but we expect them to get results.
We expect them to get results. I wonder. If they don't get results, then there is fire on the mountain.
Absolutely, and I agree 100. Let's see what Diego Simeone will be able to pull, because looking at this group, I would expect Atletico Madrid to, to qualify to go ahead. But let's see. I think Group B is still quite open, barring the first spot, which I think Club Brugge is quite comfortable. In that position.
Just one more point and
exactly. Porto, Atletico is the question now. Who is going to be swapping spots with whom? All right.
Going to go to the Europa League.
That's going to be some question and some result over the next 2 games. Away from that, let's move over now to the drama center, I should say. Group C are serving us hot. More than enough drama to go around. It's a question of how much can you actually take? How do you like your drama? Served cold? Hot? Talking about Barcelona taking on Inter Milan. Barcelona at the Camp Nou 3. They actually begged for a draw, I should say. Barcelona 3. Inter Milan 3. That game had a lot of talking points. Where should we even start from? Inter Milan went behind, right? Barca scored first. 1-0. This was the result Barca were looking for.
Yeah.
All they needed to do was to cement that. But Barella said no.
I mean,
Barca went 1-0 into halftime, and it was looking like they were in charge, I should say. Inter Milan had their moments, I should say, close calls. Dzeko had his moment, I should say.
True.
Nico Barella balanced things out. It was 1-1. Inter Milan went ahead again. It was 2-1. The drama was a lot.
Yes, Lautaro Martinez like first going to the UCL this
like
season.
all season long. I was like, my guy, you just wake up.
He had a good game, a good analysis.
Absolutely, it was 2-1, and Barcelona came back courtesy of
you know who?
Exactly. It is Lewandowski. 2-2. Okay, game on. Inter Milan went ahead. Gossens. 3-2. Lewandowski, I'm not done here. 3-3. What a game. What a moment for us, the fans, neutrals. Not exactly. A moment for Barca and not a moment for Inter, because Inter Milan felt outdone in that game. I mean, it was no surprise that Inzaghi got a red card in that one. It showed how upset it was. Like, we were supposed to get maximum points here. And for me, going into this game would be something that I was surprised by. I expected goals, yes. Yeah, I expected drama, but I expected Barcelona to get maximum points.
Well, did I expect them to get maximum points after the first leg at the San Siro? I'm not sure, because they were lackluster to an extent. And secondly, I knew they would be like, we are not going to go to the Europa League. There is no way we are going to the Europa League. We have targets to meet. We are literally in debt. We need to balance.
They need the money.
They need the money. At the end of the day, they have to get themselves to the quarterfinals
minimum
to settle some debt. So, I'm not sure that's bored on the players, because they were just here and there. Apart from Ousmane Dembele, who was trying to be everywhere, and he did his part, got the first goal. Then
Lewandowski.
Barella equalized.
Okay.
Lewandowski got his first. I was like, no celebration. Come on, let's go. Let's get these boys beat. Lautaro Martinez, the goal and the assist. But what are we going to say about Lewandowski's second goal on the 93rd minute? His header was like, that header was so powerful. But what caught my attention was like, after he got it, I was like, boys, I know they go Europa League. Come on.
I'm not going. Like, my mom was sure that is not my level.
That's not my level.
I do not like this kind of stuff. I don't play in the second tier of European football. But for me, it's what's interesting for me now is that Barcelona are right now caught between a rock and a hard place. Yeah. There is almost, they know that Europa League is not where they want to be at. But here we have Group C, Bayern topping it, 4 games, 4 wins. Inter Milan, 4 games, 2 wins, a draw and a loss, right? 7 points. They're sitting quite comfortably in second place. Gotten 4 points over Barcelona. Barcelona have only beaten Victoria Pleasant in this group. They take on Bayern Munich next. And
they are going to get destroyed. Because Bayern, we both know, in the whole history of Bayern facing Barca has only won 2 times. How embarrassing. I think
Barcelona fans will hate to hear that.
We all know what she did there. I'm not involved.
They would hate to hear that. But for me, it's the fact that now their future is not in their hands, right? They need to get maximum points off of their next 2 games. And
hope Victoria Pleasant beats Inter Milan.
And need Inter Milan to drop points.
Inter Milan is not going to drop points against Victoria. They are going to spare Victoria Pleasant. After that, they might have a party at the Victoria Island. Probably, just saying. But what is certain, what is obvious, and what is realistic is that the next game, Barca versus Bayern Munich at the Camp Nou, is going to be an avalanche of problems. Because Bayern will not allow them want to get a point, and Barca will want to die there.
They need to.
Yeah, we are not going to Europa. Lewandowski was unable to get a goal in the first leg against Bayern, his former team. I want to see what he wants to do now. I'm not ruling him out from getting a goal, but if he gets a goal, forget, Mane is getting a goal. If he gets another one, Sane is getting one. If he gets one, Joao Musiala is getting one. That is the match to see. If Bayern fails to get a goal, then I know they are in for solidarity for their man Lewandowski. But they should let Lewandowski go to the Europa League.
But that's going to be quite the game to see. The next round of games are going to, they say, going to be very interesting. But my eyes, most definitely, as I think the rest of the world, will be looking at what's going to go down. Bayern Munich taking on Barcelona. What would Barcelona get from this game? Because they need to. Bayern right now, cruise control, cruise mode, all is well in their world, all right? And now the onus is on Barca to get maximum points, 6 points minimum they need from the next 2 games. And they also need Inter Milan to lose or drop points to Victoria Pleasant. And it's going to be quite the asking them to beat Bayern Munich. Okay, still on Group C, Bayern Munich taking on Victoria Pleasant. I think we kind of expected that result. 4-2. It ended in favor of Bayern. Victoria were at home, and they put something back in that one.
Yeah, second half.
I mean, we saw them score 2 goals, which for me, I felt like it was because Bayern took their feet off the pedal.
I felt Bayern gave them those 2 goals. At least you guys should have 2 goals in the Champions League. You cannot just come to the Champions League and have a campaign without getting a goal. You scored 4 in the first half. You have already destroyed your island.
I expected I expected more goals in the second half.
I knew Bayern were going to take their foot off the pedal after the first half. They had scored 4 already in the first half. Pleasant were already defeated in the first half. So okay, let them get a goal. And they didn't just get 1 goal. They got 2 very nice goals. If you actually saw it.
Yeah,
2
actually.
goals from Victoria Pleasant. They play nice football too. They do play nice football, but
I think it's just the level of the counterparts they have. You've got to give it. You're playing Bayern Munich. You have Bayern Munich. Thank you for mentioning his name. Goretzka has been in some form, I should say, and it's been a season of midfielders for Bayern Munich. You have Jamal Musiala,
form of his life.
Goretzka as well. You have Kimmich as well. It's just very interesting for me seeing what's going on in the middle of the park and what Nagelsmann is getting out of his
Ryan Gravenberch
from his midfielders.
Ryan Gravenberch been blistering for another journey from Ajax. So the extent that he has been nominated for the under-20, one of the Golden Boys is on the list too, same as his counterpart Jamal Musiala. But the fact that is he a Bayern thing or is he a Nagelsmann thing? If he's playing, his midfielders are like the second option to get a goal, if not possible the first option to get a goal. If your wingers are not getting goals, you see either Goretzka, as we just mentioned, or Jamal Musiala, or Kimmich. They will smash in the goal, and before you know, as long as one person has gotten the goal,
the floodgate is open, and that's it. So Group B, Group C, quite comfortably for Bayern, not comfortable for Barcelona, and that's been the tale of their season in the Champions League. Bayern have not been able to replicate the same kind of form in the league, in the Bundesliga. Barcelona are blistering in the La Liga. They've not been able to translate, and it's very interesting. It's like home. When it's home, by home I mean La Liga and Bundesliga, away as in the Champions League. It's been very different stories right there.
Yeah,
okay.
And on that, Barca, even if they have been blistering in their home, they still have problems regarding their home. Bayern that has not been blistering in their home, they might not be blistering till December, but you know that league is literally their home.
We just might get surprised though.
By Union Berlin?
Yes, please.
By who?
Union Berlin. I see. It's
going
to be quite a season, and I'm going to be all in. I love Bayern Munich, but it'll be also nice just have a break, have a change in government. It will be very nice.
If there's going to be a change in government, it's going to be Dortmund, because
no, I don't trust Dortmund.
Freiburg, those two.
I don't trust Dortmund.
Yeah, and now you're telling me you're trusting Union Berlin and you're trusting SC Freiburg.
Is it your trust?
Okay, well,
it's my love, my trust, and my respect. Berlin, you guys can hear me. Do not.
Okay.
Embarrass me this day.
It's when they are disunioned.
But hey, Group C is still up in the air, and let's see. I think the top spot and the 4th spot is sorted. No one is dragging Victoria with that 4th position. Nobody. It's all theirs, and they're very comfortable. They're very comfortable there. But second and third is still up in there. Let's see who's going to the Europa League, and who's staying on in the Champions. I'm sorry, do you have a score to settle with Barcelona?
No, I don't have any score to settle with them. The only score I have to settle with them is you don't have money. Yeah, I see, but players, and you list most of your stadium, your your rights, your TV rights, as much as possible, just to get yourself on this season. Let's go. You want this player? We got Lewandowski, we got Christensen, we got who's this guy? We got Kessie, we got Rafinha, we got Gavinha, we got Amavi, Gavi, Pavi, Arabi.
Barca fans should come for you.
At the end of the day,
They should
where
come
are
for
you guys?
But no, they needed to make those signings. You and I know that.
Yeah, why don't
they
you
needed
focus
to
on free agency? Okay, you need to make those signings. How much did they sign Rafinha?
Like 65, 70 million.
Woo! And why? You have Ferran Torres, you have Ansu Fati.
Torres he has not been delivering.
Because he's not been playing.
Even when he does get playtime, I don't if Barcelona fans hear you mention Ferran Torres, they have a score.
How much you buy him from Man City?
But no, he's not been delivering, and that is the truth.
I'm not going to lie about that.
There was a reason why they were very, very clear about wanting Lewandowski. They needed that presence. They could not afford to continue like that. They were going to go back to the Europa League, even though it's looking like Europa League is calling them. But I think they're not going to answer the call. That's the point.
They are going to pick up that call. If they have a missed call, UEFA is going to.
Away from that, I don't know what Ibrahim has over or for against Barcelona. Let's move over now to Group D, where stuffs are also happening. The drama is just not as much as we would say is happening in the Group C.
Everybody gets boring when there's Tottenham. Is it because they don't have a trophy?
Tottenham Hotspur taking on Eintracht Frankfurt. What do you have against these clubs? 3-2. It ended in favor of Tottenham. It was at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The previous, the reverse fixture gave us a barring and a drab. But it wasn't drab on Frankfurt's part. On Tottenham's part, it was. Frankfurt did their best to stifle Tottenham from scoring, but Tottenham were able to get the better of them this time around. I heard him, Son Heung-min getting a brace in this one. Harry Kane also converting from the penalty spot, and Frankfurt were able to pull 2 goals back. Kamada as well as
Deichi.
Deichi Kamada as well as Ali Dubege getting his own goal, and 3-3 ended. But we have to also mention that Frankfurt went down to 10 men at quite early on in the second half, and that could possibly be the reason why they were unable to,
Well, I felt Tottenham after the draw, they lost in the. Did they lose in the league? I think they lost in the league, and I was seeing here that Antonio Conte, I don't see him drop 2 points in 2 games. And the third game.
Before the game, they played Arsenal. Then they played Frankfurt. They won the next game 1-0. They played. I'm trying to remember.
Okay, against Brighton.
Against Brighton.
And so I think they followed in the stead, and they were like, okay, this is Frankfurt. Let's destroy them. What's his name got the first goal? Deichi Kamada got the first goal, and after that it was Tottenham all through. Even Son with one of his trademarks finish, bend it into the corner, bottom corner. His second goal was much more beautiful. I will not lie, left foot, bam, into the roof of the net. And Harry Kane's penalty. That was Harry Kane's 21st goal in 28 Champions League games. He is not meant to be in Tottenham, if you ask me. I do, as much as I revere Tottenham, because I won't lie, they have not been lucky with the trophies, but they have been so solid when it comes to marketing, getting what they need, and getting their names out there. Tottenham forced themselves into the Big Six, and they have been part of the Big Six for like a couple of years now. That is super impressive, even without the trophy. But take the next step, try and get the trophy. Try and get the trophy. I felt that is one of the reasons they employed Antonio Conte, because they need it, they want it, and it is taking time to get the trophy. Harry Kane, after this season, if you see you're not winning anything, if you see it's becoming obvious you're not winning anything, go to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich has been calling you for like ever. Come on. Is it going to be until you are 36 before you realize you need to win something? You're not winning anything with the English team. How about your Tottenham team? Nothing. Although he wanted to leave to go to Man City, but we know Daniel Levy. If one of his star boys wants to go, your club is going to pay all their treasury, your arm, president's head, leg before they let you go. Look how they did to Modric. Madrid did like this before they Modric, Bale.
Yeah. So.
You mean Son? Nobody will dare say I want to sign Son. No, if you want to sign Son, I mean your daddy and your mommy.
It just might be worth 250 million, but well, that's very interesting, and it's also interesting to know that you're having other table toppers in different groups, and we talked about A to C, and they're topping with about 10, with about 12, 11, and all. Tottenham can't say the same. They are at the same point with a lot of second place teams. Well, they're currently lead or top Group D, I should say, with 7 points, which is quite close. Marseille as well as Sporting are on their neck with 6 points.
All of them
each.
are on each other's neck. The
Frankfurt,
last person can finish first after the sixth game.
do you see Tottenham relinquishing that spot?
Why not? It's not Tottenham. Why not?
Okay.
It's Tottenham.
Okay.
But I know they want to kill themselves again. I'm sorry. They want to get themselves into the next round of the competition, especially with Anthony Conte on the arms. He's not going to take no slack, no time to slack. You guys get the points, get the needed points, and let's go. But this is so dicey. This is so unpredictable. They have just 1 point between them and the second place,
as well as the third place.
And the fourth place, you have just 30 points between you guys. That is the most closed group, if you ask me. Like,
yeah, I think so too.
So close. They are in Group D. Is that the group of death? I don't know. So it feels like
it's
that.
starting to look like so, because even Tottenham cannot say they're guaranteed their spots in the next round of the competition. Let's move over now to the other people in Group D as well. Sporting and Marseille. Marseille were able to get the better of Sporting. 2-0 it was in favor of Marseille, and
Sporting got 2 red cards though. Two unnecessary red cards. Like,
and I
what
think
were you guys thinking? They put up us at the point though.
Yeah, before this game, yeah.
And then they capitulated, and trust Olympic Marseille. They've been doing fantastically well in the Ligue 1. They were unbeaten prior to the weekend when they just lost the first game. And into this game with Marseille going Gunduzi, Alexis Sanchez rolling back the years this season for them. They have their fate in their hands for the next game. If they do not beat Frankfurt at the house, then I'm going to say, well, if Frankfurt actually beats them, it's going to be 2-2. See, that's the competition.
That group is so much calculations, permutations, and combinations going on.
I don't
in
want to
Group
be a
D.
coach right now. I don't want to be any of them coaches right now, because they'll be like, should we focus on the league?
Or should we
focus on
yeah, right.
League?
There's only so much you can focus on per time. But hey, we'll see how Group D does develop, but of which we are sure that there's a lot of action, a lot of drama to still come from the last 2 games.
Definitely.
In this group, okay, away from Group D and its drama and death situation, let's move over now to Group E. And in Group E, I don't think we'll say it's as open or it's as
it's not really open, because some teams decided to falter when they were not meant to falter, whereas some decided to pick up when nobody expected them to pick up. So that's the tale of Chelsea and Milan. First leg again at the Stamford Bridge, Chelsea were all over AC Milan to an extent that we felt like AC Milan, I think they came in their team C or their team D.
I think it was on their 14
because they were
side.
totally absent. I think they only had 1 attempt all game that went on target. So here comes the second leg at the Giuseppe Meazza Stadium. Ooh, we are facing Chelsea. They beat us. They think they are like this. Let's beat them. I would give Stefano Pioli's boys the benefit of the doubt that game I'm pretty sure they wanted to beat Chelsea. But what is that red card for Fikayo Tomori? As early as that, for a drag back that was not even looking like a drag back on Mason Mount, you give them a penalty. You gave him a red card. Until date, till now, I cannot still fathom how without is a red card. How?
I remember we had quite a conversation about that, and I mean, there's been quite a number of arguments, because I was listening to other pundits, I was listening to other analysts. I just wanted to understand, what
the rules these days,
and well, it's very interesting. But hey, Milan went down to 10 men, and that they can, I guess, point out to that was part of the reason why they capitulated like so, because Fikayo Tomori has been one of their best players all season.
Top 3.
So
top 3 best players.
It's very interesting what happened. But hey, so over 2 legs now, Chelsea 5, Milan 0. So it's,
and you can even say that the second leg, Milan, even after they were reduced to 10 men, they had more attempts than they had in the whole of the first leg.
True, absolutely.
So I felt they came to that game with one mindset: let's get a revenge. But the revenge,
it was not revenge.
It was like a Salah's revenge against Madrid.
Oh, you had to just do that.
It's still paining me till tomorrow, but I'm still going to be using it as an example.
Okay,
so Salah next time in his life, he just.
So Chelsea here are, I think, quite comfortable topping Group E right there. Milan would have expected more from them, but I mean Chelsea are quite comfortable, and I think at this point it's safe to say that they are in. Okay, maybe it's not so safe because
they're not really that safe.
a lot of things are going to be happening in that group.
Their group is just somewhat like the what's
Group
called
D.
Group D. Anybody can still get tops, even if you're lambasting.
Do I think so?
Well, I don't know. Chelsea faces Salzburg at their home at the Red Bull Arena, and look, Leipzig is the Red Bull Arena. They face Salzburg, and I see them getting all points. Well, Graham Potter has been impressive. Graham Potter's boys more like has been impressive after their first 2 outings where they were not really impressive. But now they are picking up. They might beat Salzburg away from home. If they do beat Salzburg away from home, that is Arrivederci to whoever is coming after them. That means they are the group winners. Undoubtedly.
And you expect that Milan should get something over Dynamo Zagreb, maximum point minimum.
Maximum.
But that Dynamo as well have shown that they are not pushovers in this group.
Yeah,
they're
going to be at their house.
It's going to be quite interesting. You can't forget what they showed Chelsea. They got 3 points off of Chelsea. Even though we can't say Chelsea were faltering at the time, but Milan.
That was Tuchel's last game.
And for me it's. I don't know, Group E, Group D, a lot of Group C stuff. Group C is the Barcelona's Inter, and you guys should just serve us the drama.
This is what we want in the Champions League competition, end to end.
I don't think the clubs want this.
The clubs, I don't really care. We the fans want something like this. Let's be permutating. Let's see. No, this one not. Oh no, I want more for this.
Some calculated punching from the coaches, and this is not the kind of good ethic we talk about on the show. But away from Group E, let's move away now from that, and let's check out other groups and what's happening there. Group F, we should say.
Madrid.
You are having Real, Shakhtar. Now, I was very impressed with Shakhtar, I have to say. And
I was more than impressed.
I was rooting for them to get maximum points off of Real, but the sign clubs that when you're playing against, you don't take your eyes off the ball at any point in time because
it was painful.
You pay for it.
It was painful though because Zubkov got the goal for Shakhtar, and as much as Madrid were trying to show, we are the European champions, we are the European giants, nobody comes close to us, we are going to beat them. Shakhtar held forth. They held their lines. It was like a battlefield for them. Okay, if you pass this first guys,
you won't go through the next one.
If you pass the second one, the third one, forget. The ball is off your feet. So they were like that for the whole 94 minutes. They added 5 minutes to them, and the fact that a minute or two earlier, prior to them getting the equalizer, that same pattern of play occurred. Cruz got the ball, crossed exactly to the center spot in the penalty, and Rudiger had his head on it. Unlucky, hit the bar, out.
Less than a minute after that, like it just no repeat.
Exactly, it was exactly the same style of play. Go to Cruz straight up, and Rudiger. Well, we have always known him to be rude, but how would you risk? Well, he's a footballer. He's doing his job, same as the goalkeeper, and that clash of heads is not nice. I hope they are both all right till now.
No, I didn't hear about any injury of Rudiger, but we did see that he went off bleeding. His entire shirt actually got stained.
I'm pretty sure the
goalkeeper as well.
His nose bridge is broken because
the goalkeeper as well also had it. I think the cheekbone
have to be broken because it was not an easy collision.
It was nasty. It was nasty.
95th minute. It was.
It was quite the equalizer.
Yeah, it was quite the equalizer. Antonio Rudiger with always popping up with something like that once in a while, and they give them, how would I put it, one of the reasons they got him for. Because if he was not there,
I think he was trying to fight for his spot in the El Clasico. I'm just saying.
He doesn't need to fight for his spot. He has it already. I'm not sure he's going to play. Well,
with this injury,
he might wear a protective mask. We don't know. It's easy to get a protective mask in football these days. So he might have a protective mask on. But with the protective mask, have I seen Rudiger play with the protective mask before? Yeah, I have. But if you see Rudiger play with the protective mask, he's more scarier.
And then when he's without one, and that's going to be quite the game, quite the rest of the games in Group F, I should say. But shout out to Madrid. They were able to dig deep and find and get a point because Shakhtar were not willing to give it to them.
At all.
Real Madrid are comfortably topping Group F with 10 points. There, RB Leipzig in second place, and we have to talk about that. Leipzig beating Celtic 2-0. Leipzig also have been, yeah, I guess they've been quite, good in the Champions League. Shakhtar in third place, 5 points they have, and Celtic very comfortable in fourth position with a point. And
the Scottish teams,
I mean, Rangers, Celtic.
Celtic is actually way better than Rangers at the
1
moment.
point,
They have the
no
points.
Okay, all right.
Rangers don't have any.
No, there's something. So let's see if we're going to be having a switch of place or sport from the second point, sport and the third for Leipzig and Shakhtar. Perhaps
it looks like it's going to happen because Shakhtar are heading to Celtic's home, and are they going to beat? Is Celtic going to beat Shakhtar?
I mean,
what Shakhtar did against Bayern, Real Madrid, both legs, I don't see that coming. Shakhtar will be like, okay, this is our sport, this is our opportunity, this is our chance. Real Madrid, our main threat, RB Leipzig, they are going to Santiago. No, they are hosting Real Madrid, and Real Madrid are going to look for, let's beat these people. Let's just end this once and for all. We are going to be the group winners. Let's get this point. If Real Madrid get up 3 points against Leipzig, Shakhtar will be like, we are going to beat you people today, and nothing is going to happen. You call yourself the boys. You are boys to us, and it's football, anything can happen. Celtic might just play out a goalless draw with them, make sure that nothing comes through. But if
I don't think Shakhtar boys will allow that to happen
because
of how they were so good against Madrid over 2 legs, even though they conceded 3 goals and they scored 2. And the first leg was 2-1, and it was quite close. I think that if Shakhtar are taking their chances better, they would have gotten something in that first game as well.
Same as the second game.
Right.
Second was 3 points against Madrid.
I was like,
oh, Madrid's first loss of the season is about to come. It's about 90
it did not come, apparently. It didn't come. All right, let's move away from Group F and let's move over to Group G, where Copenhagen held Manchester City to a goalless draw, and that was huge for Copenhagen, to say the very least. It was a big point they got. Manchester City went down to 10 men. And they had a penalty.
They had a few mishaps that day. I feel like I said it here. You were against it. Mother luck shone on Copenhagen, because if it was not for mother luck, nobody saw the handball. Rodri got one hell of a goal, like a rocket. Nobody was like, "Oh, come on, nice one." We didn't even know the referee just blew like VAR for what? Then we saw that there was an handball. Riyad Mahrez with the handball. Okay, game on. Then they had another attempt. Akonji on the header. Game was already on. VAR called it again. Like, check it out. Handball. Riyad Mahrez that called the play. Handball that made Rodrigo's goal cancelled. Took the penalty.
To save.
Beautiful save by the goalkeeper. No, like, how would you save penalties like that? That's some save. Then you ask me. Then the game continued. Copenhagen went through on goal. Something happened.
Gomez.
Play on, said the referee. VAR for the third time.
Yeah, in less than 30 minutes.
Everything was in 28 minutes.
Yeah.
VAR called it back. Oh, Sergio Gomez, so you sabi Dragon, come. Red, out. And on that spot, Copenhagen were like, whoo.
We can get something.
First goal cancelled, penalty, saved, one of their players out, Man City, nothing for you. And so it happened. Man City failed to have any meaningful attempt on goal until the 80-something minutes. That was how Copenhagen, how would I put it? That was how much Copenhagen were able to hold forth and be like, okay, even if you don't get goals, although they had attempts of their own that were meant to get goal, if
they had been just a teeny bit more clinical,
like, they would have gotten a goal at least. But they held their own, and very, very, very impressive 1 point for them. That 1 point felt like a 3-pointer for them to an extent.
Yeah, I mean, against high-flying Manchester City.
I was thinking that what's his name? Pep Guardiola was like, goal cancelled. Penalty missed. Sergio Gomez off. Don't let me put Alan and he gets injured. Alan.
I don't want to risk it.
So.
And I mean, quite the game, quite the result for Copenhagen. Shout out to them, even though they're tied on points with Sevilla, 3rd and 4th respectively, right there. And for me, it's very interesting. But I feel like Group G is sorted. City 10 points, Dortmund 7 over their victory over Sevilla, and Sevilla, to say the very least, have been quite They have been blah. But shout out to Dortmund. I mean, the manager Edin Terzic, you should be excited, I guess, with
Very excited.
For me, Bellingham is just so.
I've been, excuse me, I've been here waxing lyrical about JB over and over and over again. His only competitor this season is Jamal Musiala, not even Pedri. His main competitor this season is Jamal Musiala. But come on, Jude Bellingham now. Look at the way he scored the goal. It was a Lewandowski-esque kind of goal. For a midfielder, is he an old midfielder?
That's
Is
what
he a central midfielder? Is he an attacking midfielder?
It's almost everywhere, but we know Terzic uses him as a DM.
As a DM, and he's always there, and he's always here. He's always there, and he's always here.
He covers so much
Same
ground, like in such a quick and short amount of time. But shout out to them, and Dortmund. They're blessed.
They could have gotten all 3 points. They wasted a couple of chances. Bellingham himself could have gotten at least an hat-trick, but it was unfortunate because they were nice saves from the goalkeeper, and there were some that went over the top. But he had a very, very, very good game, very impressive game. Same can be said of Sevilla because they capitulated in the first game against Dortmund, but in this second game they were like, no, you can't get all this, you can't get this. We are here for you, and quite impressive for them. At least they got a point. They are on 2 points. So now they are going to be facing Copenhagen in the match for who is going to get the Europa League spots. Because I don't see them going to the Champions League. Even if Dortmund is facing Manchester City at the
Signal
Iduna Park, I do not still see any of the remaining 2 boys topping Dortmund. Because we know Man City is already group leaders. You can't say are they already group leaders.
They are. I mean, 10 points.
If Borussia Dortmund beats them,
do you think?
What is the thing? It's football. They could easily get beat. Look at Borussia Dortmund against Bayern Munich. I was not expecting to end 2-2. Bayern were leading for a long time, and quick fire goes 2-2.
Okay, there is that.
If Antonio Modric scores a 94th minute winner against Manchester City,
you would wish.
I'll be so happy.
But for me, it's very interesting how Group G is arranged right now. You're having all 4 teams with draws in the last games, so it's very interesting.
True.
Right. True. Group H, we go on to next. Paris Saint-Germain.
Last group.
Against Benfica. Benfica have been so impressive.
Yeah.
I'm like, when they score, you see me screaming like, oh my, like, I'm very proud of them. You're getting points off of PSG. It's not so much that they're getting points off of PSG. They've made PSG drop a minimum of 4 points.
Like, ow.
And that is impressive.
Because PSG were on the roll. 2 wins, 2 back-to-back wins in the Champions League. Bam.
Like they were tearing everyone apart.
Benfica, come on Benfica, let's see what you can do. Benfica went to the PSG went to meet Benfica, and they were like, these ones are different too. One before they got their goal, they lagged. The English is correct. Benfica didn't give them any space at all. So I'll come to the second leg at the what's the PSG's home ground?
Parc the
Princes, and what a game. Because PSG got the first goal, Kylian Mbappe
a penalty.
They got a penalty of themselves. Antonio Silva with what's it called, João Mario, smashing it in. But the whole game was in between the midfield. Like, bro, we have attackers that can run, but we have quality midfielders. The PSG have quality midfielders as well, but
I think Benfica's strength really is in the midfield.
Yeah. And they held forth as much as they could, and they got the points needed. The group is so open that the 2 of them, like,
we don't know who's going to be topping the group eventually. PSG currently sit first with 8 points. Benfica also second, also with 8 points. They are sitting in second, courtesy of goal difference.
Yeah,
I should say even goal difference is practically the same thing. It's just it's number of goals scored. That's the difference. And
on another day, I'll just say, PSG have the easier game next because they face Maccabi Haifa. So next time, Benfica to have an easy game next.
Wow.
Tell me it's not an easy game.
Wow.
Tell me it's not. PSG is facing the team that beats Juventus last game, whereas Benfica is facing the team that got beat.
It's exactly the reason why you should expect Juventus to respond.
Not at Benfica's home.
Okay.
That's another defeat in the waiting for Allegri. Allegri, your job is on the way.
Okay.
That's my Italian team you're playing with, man. You are playing with Juve.
But apparently Juventus, I don't think
Juve?
they trust Massimiliano
Yeah,
Allegri to get something.
yeah, because after the
that
game, Andrea Agnelli, their CEO was like, we are sticking with Allegri because this is not only on him, it's on all of them, the players and everybody. To an extent, yes, but most blame can be put on Allegri because I don't know. Now their star boy Angel Di Maria is out for like 4 weeks due to with an hamstring injury. I just hope and pray. It's not looking. I just hope and pray they don't lose Szczesny or Dusan or Akadris, because if they lose one more person to injury,
I think he says he's going to tell the tale of their. I don't think so. Okay, away from the Champions League maybe, but their season up until December is. You know,
they are already sniffing the Europa League like this. Like, are we going there?
They might not like the aroma.
They can't. They should go and ask Barca. Barca don't like the aroma.
Okay.
Same as Manchester United.
And Maccabi Haifa, special mention to them getting maximum points over Juve. 2-0 they beat Juventus, and you have Juventus tied on point with Maccabi Haifa. Three points they have, and Group H as well. Very interesting, very open as well. Let's see who's going to the Europa League. I think Maccabi just might wrestle Juventus out of that spot.
Imagine Maccabi beating PSG and Benfica beating Juventus.
Sorry, what exactly you want?
I just said imagine.
You like trouble.
Why won't I love trouble. Hello, give us trouble. That's why we love football. Let it be fun. Sheriff don't beat Madrid for hours before. Nobody died. Nothing happened.
Madrid went on to win.
Win.
So saying something.
And the Juve can go and fight for the Europa League
and win it. Wow. And now let's go back to the Europa League, where we have the big boys also there, expectedly or maybe unexpected.
The big boys.
They are big in their own right.
Okay, I'm not going to argue. You are in the Europa League. You are not a big boy. You are an up and coming boy.
Wow, Arsenal fans would hate to hear that.
I don't. You see, Arsenal don't chop 8-2 before.
Was it 8-2?
It was 8-2 against Manchester United.
Okay, yeah, there is.
I told them.
Why did you have to remind them of such?
I'm sorry.
Bordeaux nil, Arsenal 1. I'm not the one rubbing salty people's wounds. I'm not. But hey, Arsenal getting maximum points off of Bordeaux, courtesy Bukayo Saka, the boy in form right now. He's been having such a good time at home in the Premier League as well as away in the Europa League. And Mikel Arteta's boys, 11 wins out of 12 games in all competition, which is quite.
No, it's not quite. It is very, very, very impressive. Mikel Arteta's boys, 12. No, not Mikel Arteta. Arsenal, 12 games, 11 wins, just one loss to Manchester United.
Yeah.
In between those 11 wins, you are beating Liverpool.
Yes. You're beating
Tottenham. Your Europa League, what's it called?
Two
your
games?
Europa League, what's it called?
Group.
You are unbeaten. Come on.
That's massive.
And they even have what's it called? They have a game in hand which they play against PSV by October 20th. If they do win that one, at the to the group stage, they're done. They're done.
They're the next spot.
This is beautiful to see. Even some people argue that they played two teams in one night. They played Bordeaux and they played Glimt. They still beat them.
There is that. Arsenal, 9 points they have, and they currently sit at the top of Group A in the Europa League. PSV Eindhoven with 7 points they have right there. Bordeaux with 4 points, and FC Zurich no points, and they've been the whipping boys.
They are Z now, so if you are at the bottom of the group, it's not bad.
Okay. But I mean, it's quite interesting for Arsenal, and it's looking like it's very, very certain for them to get to the next point, which is the round of 16 and
32.
Beg your pardon, I was thinking Champions League. My bad. I'm not used to.
No, I said they are up-and-coming boys.
I'm not used to the Europa League. Okay. So and I mean, we're gonna be seeing, and it's gonna be very interesting the kind of visitors the Europa League will be welcoming.
Oh,
going back over after the next two games in the Champions League, and I mean,
they are likely going to be welcoming Juventus. They are likely going to be welcoming
Barca.
No, not likely. Barca is going.
What do you have against this? Away from that, let's talk about Manchester United. It was quite the game. It was quite the result for them. It was quite a moment, we have to say. I mean, winning at the death of your game. I mean, like that game, I don't know. Manchester United won Omonia 0. We had our very Nigerian international, Francis Uzor, in goal for Omonia, and it was the man
It was a man of the match.
Like
Not
it was.
even us saying it or anybody else saying it. It is obvious to everybody in the whole world. Like he owned the match. The match was all about who? Francis
So,
Uzoho.
and I mean, Manchester United having 13 shots on target, scoring one,
At
and
the death,
at the
93rd
death,
minute.
Scott McTominay, the goal scorer.
It was heartbreaking.
It was.
It was
Well,
heartbreaking.
okay, not for Manchester United, most definitely.
But for Uzo, my guy had 12 saves. Look, did you see the one-on-one he saved against Rashford?
I did.
Or look at Casemiro's ball. I felt it was a goal. To an extent, I was like, oh, that was the crossbar. That was the crossbar. Until we saw the replay, it tipped it to the crossbar. So Francis Uzo, you can keep like this. Francis Uzo, you can catch this like this.
Real Sociedad.
How did you let that party go past you?
Currently top Group E with 12 points. Manchester United in second place with 9 points. They have Sheriff Tiraspol in third place with 3 points, and Omonia have got nothing from this group. They sit with no points there, and they could have gotten a point, unfortunately. But Scott McTominay was like, no, we're not done here.
Well, their point is Uzo being the man of the match, being appreciated by everybody, Ronaldo included.
Yeah, he had a very good game.
I'm pretty sure it was a big game of his career. He said it was arguably one of the best performances in his career.
I mean,
I like that.
When you're big, you're bigger bag. It was quite the game. Yeah. And United now looking to...
They have qualified. Them and Sociedad.
It's not looking like... Okay, so nothing is happening anyway.
Nothing is happening.
I mean, I think Sheriff can get 6 points off of the next game. When you believe it, you can achieve it.
So
Sheriff got maximum points.
They're going to be money at Old Trafford.
They beat Real Madrid at Santiago, so.
Well, that's some years back.
It's last season. It's just last season. It's not that long.
No,
the spirit they went to the Bernabeu with, they can go to Old Trafford with. Say, Sheriff.
It was 2 seasons ago.
No, was it? It was last season.
It was 2 seasons ago.
Or was it?
It was 2 seasons ago they beat them.
I think it was last. No, we can agree to disagree. We'll confirm that, okay? And we'll get back to you. All right, and I think that's about it. They're talking about the big boys in the Europa, Arsenal and United most definitely.
Yeah, Roma got him.
Okay, do they qualify as big boys?
Yes, Roma are big boys because they have Jose Mourinho there. They have Paulo Dybala there. He's not playing though. He's injured. But Jose Mourinho, if Jose Mourinho was one coaching Bode and Glim.
So what did you call them?
Bodo Glimt.
They don't deserve all this kind of shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I apologize.
But they were unable to get maximum points. So,
yeah.
I mean,
well, not for the lack of trying, but for the fact that
Betis were quite good.
Betis at the hall, you don't play with them. Is it Joaquin? You don't play with them. Is it William Carvalho? You don't play with him. Is it Borja Iglesias? You don't play with them. Is it Sergio Canales? You don't play with them. Those guys are going to eat you for goals, and they did. But Roma were able to respond, and it was okay. It was nice. I liked it. I love the fact that
and the fact that Roma
got a point.
they're without Dybala, for me, is got to be one of the biggest blows.
Yeah. And in that game, they were without him. They were without the guy that got recorded, Nicolas Zaniolo.
Yeah.
Sharawi was on the bench. Let's be realistic, right? They don't really have much quality players.
As Betis does.
Apart from even Betis does, as you want an Jose Mourinho team to have. They own, who are the big boys in the team? The Lorenzi, Florenzi, the Spinazzola, Smalling to an extent, Brian Cristante, Tammy Abraham, Dybala, Zaniolo. I don't see any bigger boys there anymore. Most of them are just average. Which
is unfortunate. But wait, I mean, we're talking about what's this former Wolverhampton Wanderers goalkeeper?
Oh, Rui Patricio too is there. But look at who was he keeping for before in the league?
Wolves.
Have Wolves ever been in the top 10?
But there's the quality side.
You can't see it with all our heart.
Okay, I'm not throwing all this shade. I think Isababa just wants me to, go and find a call. And I'm not going to do that. Okay, let's move away from that, and we'll come to the end basically of the roundup. So if you think your team wasn't given a notable mention, they have to get there in the spots where the big boys are.
Not the conference league. But the West Ham won 2-1 against Anderlecht. They won back-to-back.
Notable mention. Moving away from that, playing in the Champions League, so we can have more than enough time to analyze all things going on with your club. That's it. And if you play in the Europa League, we'll have some notable mentions because we like to lift.
Division 2.
We like to lift people up. It's the least we can do after.
Least to be like Liverpool. Go, please, boys, qualify for this.
All right. Okay. As we throw shades to certain clubs, and
Me too. You have been receiving shades.
and I think we're quite good with it. We'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
So join us on the next edition of Football Analysis. It's going to be happening tomorrow, and this game. Let's say this game. Okay, I'm eating for some club football apparently, and we're going to be having some very tasty fixtures. We're talking about all that and more. The goals we're expecting, the predicted results we're also expecting, all that and more as you could possibly.
Very, very nice
and
weekend.
goals are
Man
plenty.
City.
Goals will come.
El Clasico.
Goals will come.
Woo!
The Classic as well is also there. Okay, we already had the
we had
Classic
the
last
Classico
time
last
out. But
I think it is not. It is Atalanta Napoli. I think it's Atalanta Napoli
I
weekend.
need to
And there's
confirm that.
PSG Olympic Marseille weekend too. But
that
Olympic Marseille has been
big-
beaten. Yes, now they are the only two of beaten. They were the only
yeah.
two of beaten teams before Marseille got beat.
I mean, okay, it's time for us to carry our bags and baggages out of the studio. We hope you had as much fun as we did talking about the best sports in the world, and with a focus on the European action. And they did. I mean, it came good. We had beautiful games from Tuesday up until Thursday night, and we had more than enough goals to talk about. Only a few centers at the goalless. I mean, we had some that had draws, as you would expect, but it was as dramatic as we would love it. So stick around right here with us on SEETV. Many more of this action, premium content coming your way from me and Isabella. We're saying bye-bye and adios.
Bye-bye. Uzoho, I see you. But you have seen that party's ball.
Feisty and fiercely contested games of football we have seen so far this season, and many more to come surely. The champion put your football knowledge to the test. You stand a chance to win up to 5 gigabytes of data. All you have to do is to follow us across our social media.